Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Pahrump Early Learning Academy, where we are more than just childcare.
Hi, I'm Monique Mitchell with KPVM Television. My children attend Pella and they love it. The curriculum they have is pretty amazing, and my children learn what they need at their level.
Not only are the children learning, they're having fun, and that's what matters.
I like Pella. They help you with your homework, and it's fun.
Give us a call today to tour our facility at 751-5335.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Half Price Lawyers, the only law firm in Pahrump with a low price guarantee. Located at 41 North Highway 160, Unit 11. Call 400-0000.
Tonight on News 46, an 8-year-old burns down a neighbor's home. Kids around the valley go back to school. And happy 90th birthday, Marta Beckett. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Monday, August 11th, 2014. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Some very sad news tonight to report as comedic actor Robin Williams died at his Northern California home today. Williams was 63 years old. Coroner investigators suspect the death to be a suicide due to asphyxia. Robin Williams reportedly has been battling severe depression lately. The family made a statement today asking for privacy as they grieve during this very difficult time. We'll have more on the story on Wednesday during your entertainment this week. An 8-year-old boy has been taken into custody following a structure fire that occurred off Mans Road on Laughlin Street.
Report of a structure fire around 6 p.m. last evening. What started out to be a fire in a detached two-car garage quickly extended to a nearby shed directly behind it, the Mesquite Road behind it, and also to the primary dwelling. And it was a very significant fire as to the fact that it was so hot so quickly that it extended into the attic space of the dwelling and also under the floor. As firefighters were going in to protect that structure, the floor was collapsing underneath them. At one given point in time, we no longer could occupy the space within the structure because the ceiling collapses and the floor giving away. A neighbor came up to us and presented a curious scenario of a young boy in the area of the fire just kind of observing it. And as a result of that, the Deputy State Fire Marshal was unavailable, so we conducted the investigation, and ultimately we determined that an 8-year-old neighbor was directly responsible for setting the fire within this detached garage.
How was it ignited? Do you know?
It's our understanding that it was a big lighter used with flammable liquids and possibly some stored fireworks.
So it was intentional.
It was an intentional act, and unfortunately for the family, they came home to find not only their garage but their possessions and within the dwelling, everything gone.
Was anybody injured in this fire? There
were no injuries, but curiously, there was 3 pets that were thought to have maybe died within the fire because of the extent of the fire upon our arrival. But toward just as the fire was placed under control, we're going from room to room systematically from a safe perspective because, again, we couldn't occupy the space within the structure. We found all 3 dogs alive. We rescued them by removing a window from the house and actually doing some cutting, got them safely out, and we utilized the new pet mask that we just purchased in conjunction with the IFF local. And so it was great for us to see not only the fact that they were alive, but to see this new equipment utilized so quickly after purchasing it.
So these are for oxygen for the animals?
It's direct oxygen delivery systems that go over the muzzles, and we have the different sizes because we actually had 3 different sized animals last night that needed these. A moderate sized dog, probably weighing about 65, 70 pounds, down to a dachshund type size that required a smaller mask.
How are they doing now?
From what I know is that last evening they were doing well, but they were being transported to a veterinarian over in Las Vegas to see how they were doing.
So the primary dwelling and attached structures all destroyed?
The content of the interior is the floor was severely compromised, as were the ceilings. The structure itself remains standing, and if you were to look at it from the outside, you wouldn't think that it was actually a total loss. But again, given the fact that the fire was just ferocious underneath that substructure and right up into the attic space, those areas were significantly damaged.
And then as far as the juvenile, he's being dealt with the Nye County Sheriff's Office right now?
That in the juvenile probation office through the county, that's correct.
What kind of advice do you have out there for kids that might be experiencing or showing some signs of some issues going on? Fire starting is kind of a symptom of a bigger issue, isn't it?
It really is, because as we've talked many times, both on the air and off, juvenile fire setters are such a primary concern of ours. It's one of the first things we look at just about any time we come across a structure fire. And there are resources available to the folks. And if we start exhibiting those signs, or you have a curiosity coming into play with fire setting around in the woods or grasses or anything like that, call the fire department. We can hook you up and get you connected with the resources that could help you.
And we have learned that that child, who's only 8 years old, was already in the juvenile probation system and is having a lot of family issues too as well. And our hearts go out to the victims of this fire. Students all over the valley within the Nye County School District returned to class today.
Children throughout the valley and within the Nye County School District went back to school today. The kids, teachers, and parents seemed excited to get back into the swing of things. The school buses were full of anxious students ready with pencil, paper, book, backpacks, and donning their favorite back-to-school clothes. Many were just happy to be back with friends, and some were attending for the first time or their first day at a new school. The J.G. Johnson principal, Jeff Skelton, and teachers went to Rosemary Clark Middle School to welcome their former fifth graders into sixth grade at their new school to help with the transition. The Manns Elementary School staff painted new crosswalks to help slow some of the parents down who are dropping off the kids. Though school started 2 weeks earlier this year, most of the morning went off without a hitch. Welcome back to school to the teachers and students. We hope you have a great year. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
And it's been a big day for the Nye County School District. Today, they were approved for the 21st Century Community Learning Centers grant. Their application was approved for funding for a recommendation of $100,000. The effective date for the Rosemary Clark Middle School's application is July 1st, 2014 through June 30th of 2015. The grant is renewable for a period of 3 years as long as grant requirements, goals, and objectives are met. The Nevada Department of Education received a total of 27 21st Century Community Learning Centers grant applications for review this year alone. It was very competitive, with only 10 requests being approved for funding. Congratulations. When we come back from this break, we'll have your Desert View Hospital health tip.
Perup, are you getting tired of being capped on your internet? Well, not anymore. Wave Direct has no data caps, and with great local customer service, why go anywhere else? 30-day trials are available. Call 775-253-3887.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300.
Welcome back. Today, there are more highly effective treatments for patients with HIV. However, these patients can also have higher rates of hepatitis C infection. Even though the HIV is well controlled, patients can still become very ill and, in some cases, even die from liver disease related to hepatitis C. A new study tested whether an interferon-free medication regimen would be effective in patients who have both HIV and hepatitis C infection.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Almost 7 million people worldwide are infected with both HIV and hepatitis C.
Hepatitis C infects the liver and causes slowly progressive scarring. Now, HIV accelerates that scarring.
Damage from this scarring can cause liver failure, liver cancer, cirrhosis, and even death in HIV patients.
They're not going to die of their HIV, they're going to die of their hepatitis C.
Until recently, treating hepatitis C has included interferon injections. However, interferon has been linked to a number of serious side effects, and many HIV patients are not eligible for that therapy. Dr. Mark Slukowski from Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine and co-authors treated 211 patients with both HIV and hepatitis C infections.
They were split between patients with the most common strain of hepatitis C, which is called genotype 1. The other patients had genotypes 2 and 3. Those are less common. The patients were all doing very well from a standpoint of HIV. They were either on antiretroviral therapy or not at risk to have any complications of that disease.
All of the patients received a combination of the interferon-free medications sofosbuvir and ribavirin orally over a period of 12 or 24 weeks.
For patients with the most common strain, genotype 1, treated for 24 weeks, we achieved a cure in 76% of that patient population. More patients with genotype 2 and 3 achieved a cure. Those strains are a little bit easier to treat than genotype 1.
For a patient to be considered cured, hepatitis C was no longer detected in the blood 12 weeks after the last dose of medication.
Interferon-free therapies appear to work just as well in this patient population as they do in patients with hepatitis C alone.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Researchers say further studies of this oral regimen are needed in diverse populations of co-infected patients. Although NASCAR driver Tony Stewart is not currently facing criminal charges in the death of another driver, he is not officially in the clear. Police say that this is an ongoing investigation. Stewart hit and killed another driver who was walking on a track during a dirt track race in upstate New York on Saturday night. 20-year-old Kevin Ward Jr. died from injuries suffered in the incident at the Empire Super Sprint Series event at the Canandaigua Motorsports Park. Stewart issued a statement expressing his grief. On Saturday night, a video of the incident shows the tragic occurrence. Ward gets out of his crashed car after hitting the wall and walks onto the track towards the race cars, which had slowed for a yellow flag. Ward points a finger and appears to be yelling. One car swerves to avoid Ward on the half-mile dirt track. Stewart cars passes close to Ward, and it appears that his right rear tire hits him. An ambulance took Ward to the hospital, but he died before it arrived. One female passenger of a quad runner was transported from an accident yesterday on the south end of town.
A two-vehicle accident occurred yesterday afternoon on McGraw in Squaw Valley. According to the report, the pickup truck was traveling eastbound on McGraw when the quad runner failed to yield at the stop sign traveling northbound on Squaw Valley. That is when the two collided at the intersection. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's deputies arrived on scene to find one female who was a passenger onside the quad who was injured. She was transported to Desert View Hospital. The driver of the pickup truck and the driver of the quad were not injured as a result of this accident. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are conducting the accident investigation. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
And the Nevada Department of Transportation advises motorists to plan ahead for delays on the I-15 southbound between Glendale and Moapa for the I-15 paving project. Only one lane will be open to the traveling public on I-15 southbound from today, August 11th, until November. The delays can be up to 1 hour. Plan to leave early or stay later so you can avoid the peak traffic volumes in the afternoon and evening. Please make sure if you travel this section, fill up with gas and carry plenty of water just in case. For the latest up-to-the-minute road conditions, you can visit them on the web, nvroads.com. When we come back from this break, we're going to wish a very special happy birthday to someone. Amargosa Opera House's Marta Beckett turned 90 on Saturday. A birthday party was held at the Amargosa Hotel dining room in her honor, and a stone plaque was placed at the entrance of the junction, thanking the inspirational performer for her 50 years of tireless work here in Nevada.
She made me promise that I wouldn't put on too big of a celebration for her, but I wanted to get a few close people from the community and friends of hers. We've got some lunch and some cake, and then a special dedication out front. We've got a flagstone that we've put up, and it's inscripted with the dedication. I can't wait for her to see it. It just got finished. I've got some hard workers here that made that happen, so I can't wait for her to see that. It's up by the National Registered Historic Monument up front.
There was a flood here recently.
Yeah, there was. It was on Tuesday. It rained pretty hard in Death Valley, and so the water just rushed through the northwest side of the property and engulfed the whole town just within a couple minutes. So about shin height water through the entire property. The hotel withstood pretty well, but the Opera House received a lot of water in there, so we're dealing with warped wood flooring. The original floors are wood, so the floor is really warping, and so we're just going to work through that. We had a nice group come. Marta's physical therapist from Affiliated, he found out about the problem, and so he brought his group here, and they've been working all day to clean up some of the mess.
But did you want to talk about Jenna, maybe?
Well, I'm talking with a young lady who's a dancer.
Oh, you are? Who's that?
Jenna. I don't know her last name.
Jenna McClintock, I believe is the pronunciation of the last name, but she had came through when she was 6, and the family stopped and saw a performance. It motivated her to become a ballet dancer. She was with Oakland Ballet and is somewhat retired from that, and approached Marta with her resume, and Marta...
She's going to be learning my repertoire.
Yeah, so she'll be working with Marta, mentoring with her and recreating her original performances.
People can donate all the time, right?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, she has a true 501c3 nonprofit, so any donations are tax deductible.
Marta Beckett, a very happy 90th birthday. You gonna say happy birthday?
Yes, I'll say happy birthday. What do you want me to say?
Say happy birthday to Marta.
Happy birthday, Marta. I'm Hank Humphreys. I'm from Colorado, and I love Marta Beckett.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Have a good day. We love you.
Great.
Happy birthday, Marta. Thank you for letting me be part of your life. I love you very much.
That was such a fun party. Federal regulators are warning consumers about the risk of using virtual currencies such as Bitcoin. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said that it will begin fielding complaints from people who rely on products such as Bitcoin and online exchanges for such currencies. In issuing an advisory warning, the agency noted that the currencies are not backed by the government, have volatile exchange rates, and are targeted by hackers and scammers. And unlike bank accounts, Bitcoin-based deposits are not federally insured. House Press Secretary James Brady's death last week was directly related to wounds he sustained in the 1981 attempted assassination of President Ronald Reagan, and authorities are now investigating it as a homicide. Brady was shot in the head and partially paralyzed, spending the rest of his life in a wheelchair and advocating against gun violence. His family said in a statement that he died from health issues at 73 years old, but a Virginia medical examiner has ruled the case a homicide, prompting a new investigation. John Hinckley, the lone gunman who fired the shots that wounded Reagan, Brady, a police officer, and a Secret Service agent outside a Washington hotel, was found not guilty by reason of insanity. He has spent the ensuing years in a psychiatric hospital. Hinckley was charged at the time with assault with intent to kill and assault with a dangerous weapon, and it's unclear if he will face any new counts. Let's join Angela Miles with today's First Business Brief.
This is the First Business Brief for Monday, August 11th. I'm Angela Miles. A drug company stock soars as a treatment shows a fighting chance against Ebola. Shares of Tecmir Pharmaceuticals shot up 45% on Friday after the FDA approved the use of its Ebola drug treatment in limited experiments. Ebola is spreading at an alarming rate throughout West Africa. The Russian economy is losing traction amid sanctions and uncertainty. The economy is now on track to its weakest growth in 10 years. Last month, car and truck sales there dropped 23%. Back in June, sales slipped 17%. And big tech companies are connecting with workers. Glassdoor is out with its annual list of the best places to work, ranked by employees. Consulting firm Bain & Company tops the list, followed by Twitter, LinkedIn, Eastman Chemical, and Facebook. That's a First Business Brief. I'm Angela Miles.
Thanks, Angela. Well, if you're west of town, you must have had a wonderful evening last night or early this morning like I did, where you had massive lightning and really, really heavy rain that woke you up about 1 o'clock in the morning. And I noticed driving around town today that it wasn't everywhere because there was a lot of dry areas, but it just seems kind of isolated to this one area, as last week in the south end of town received a lot of heavy rain too as well. Well, we got Noah Began back, and he's going to give us our weather forecast when we come back from this break.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Monday, August 11th. I've recently come back from a vacation to Yellowstone National Park and Zion National Park. I ran into a little bit of rain in Yellowstone, but it was nice, hot, and sunny in Zion National Park. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. Let's take a look at today's weather. Today we had cloudy skies and scattered thunderstorms with a high of 95 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 103 degrees. It's a little cooler because of the rain. Winds were coming from the south at 6 miles per hour with a gust up to 15 miles per hour. The UV index today was 6, which is high. Humidity was at 44%. Sunrise was at 5:59 this morning, and the record high in 1940 was 116 degrees. Well, tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low of 75 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 80 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southeast at 3 miles per hour with a gust up to 6 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 35%. Sunset will be at 7:39 p.m. and the record low in 1948 was 60 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have partly cloudy skies with a high of 96 degrees and a low of 74 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour with gusts up to 12 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 36%. Sunrise will be at 6 o'clock, and the UV index will be 10, which is very high. For our 7-day forecast, we'll have a mostly sunny week. Those clouds will be clearing up around Thursday. Your high temperatures will be ranging from 96 degrees to 100 degrees, peaking on Sunday, and your low temperatures will be ranging from 70 degrees to 74 degrees.
I don't see any thunderstorms in that, but of course the National Weather Service gives us updates, and of course we'll give them to you as they come in. And I think we've got to bug Noah for some of those pictures of Zion and Yellowstone too as well. We are doing some upgrades to the station, and as you guys know, we're friends. We can talk to you about everything that's going on up here at the station. And Vern has got a new traffic system coming in, and he's installing it, I think, right now as we're speaking. He wants to let you guys know that there might be some audio issues or some times where we might be off the air for a little while, but we'll bring it right back as fast as possible. There's going to have to be a little bit of changes to make our programming so much better for you guys and all of our wonderful digital channels that we have. And speaking of the digital channels, if you're watching us on our website, kpvm.tv, or YouTube, or if you're watching us on cable and you want to know how to pick us up on over the air or something, you can give Vern a call at 209-3824, and he'll give you all the lowdown on how to hook up. If you have friends that need to hook up, spread the word, get everybody hooked up, and give Vern a phone call to get 46.1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course, we are on New Wave on cable channel 12 and 81.1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can't miss us because we have DRTV now. And that's a wonderful new channel that we have here. So give us a call if you need any further information. That's going to do it for this edition of News 46. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.